And welcome back to the morning show. New information is showing that kids are more depressed now than ever, but experts are reminding parents not to give up hope. Gary Offenstein with Two Roads Wellness joins us via Skype this morning to help us better understand all of those issues. Good morning, Carrie. How are we doing today?
Good. Hi, Mac. How are you?
I'm excellent, excellent. So we are talking about keeping kids happy during the pandemic. I'm assuming right now more than ever the kids are probably feeling a little bit down in the dumps. How can we improve that?
Yeah, kids are really struggling right now. I
Mhm.
mean, we're seeing statistics and reports come out with numbers that are just really alarming. Higher rates of depression, higher rates of anxiety and panic and worry than we've really ever seen in the child population. And you just have to think about how a lot of us are feeling it as adults, and that trickles down on kids. And also, kids are they're facing a lot of uncertainty right now. Maybe their school opened and then it closed again, or they don't know if their favorite sport is going to go on. Kids are just really they're putting up with a lot right now.
And talking about that just a little bit, I know from my experience with my nephews, they are on technology almost, I wouldn't say 24/7, but pretty close. Right now, they're certainly on their iPads a lot more now. Is there a specific amount of time that parents should be saying, hey, get off your iPads and maybe go do something, or try to, I guess, just spend time with one another a little bit more than just being on technology? What would you recommend?
Yeah, I would say it's one of those things that can be a tricky balance because this is a really unprecedented time. And we before the pandemic, we as mental health professionals and many of us as parents were trying to get our kids off technology and things like that. And then all of a sudden they kind of have to be on technology every day. So there really is an increase in being on those types of tools and things like that. I really think it comes down to balance. Like you said, it's a great idea to get your kids outside. It's cold right now, but bundle up and find a way to get into nature, take breaks, walk around, things like that. No one really is going to find that it's very healthy to be on a screen all day. But I also think that there's a balance here where parents can maybe kind of let themselves off the hook right now a little bit more maybe than they are used to doing,
Mhm.
because not everything's going to be perfect, and there are some things that we kind of just have to do.
And Carrie, when it comes to anxiety and depression right now, I know that kiddos show those symptoms a little differently than maybe adults. What are some things to be watching out for if parents want to express their concern right now? Is there anything in particular?
Yeah, if you have noticed a marked change in your child, then that's something that you might want to get checked out. So let's say that your kid is usually bouncy and lively and things like that, but now they're very quiet or subdued, or your child usually kind of has everything together, but now they're showing a lot of excessive worry over maybe their schoolwork or what's going to happen to people and things like that. Any of those things would be symptoms that would show that a kid is struggling right now. And really, they may even just tell you that they're upset.
And what are some things that parents can do right now to help children through these trying times? Are there some specific choices that we can give kids?
Absolutely. I'm so glad you brought that up, Mac, because choices are huge with kids. Choices are really healthy developmentally for them to feel like they're kind of growing into themselves and taking control of their life. But now more than ever, I think one of the ways that we can help build resiliency in our children is by, I kind of think of it as a threefold approach. So, first, it's very important to validate your child's feelings right now, because this is not about staying positive, is not about pretending that things aren't bad. Things are a struggle right now. And really, giving your child space to grieve the things they've lost, to express their fears to you is great. But once they've done that, then that's when we can start kind of teaching our children how to deal with situations. We can find positives in the situation. So maybe there's something like the Zoom schooling. Ask your kid, what is one positive thing about learning from home? I'm sure that it's one. Or what's one positive thing about being home more with your family and things like that. And you absolutely nailed it. That's the last part of this threefold process. Validate your kids, look for some positives, and really try to find places where your child can still have a choice. They can have a choice wearing their favorite mask. They can have a choice maybe even decorating their mask with non-toxic, child-friendly markers, things like that. Anywhere that you can give your child a small sense of control and empowerment in their life, it's going to help them not feel so hopeless and kind of just taken by the wind with whatever it is that's going on right now.
And Carrie, right now, talking about what's going on right now, for the last several months, like you mentioned, kids have very few options. They have very few choices when it comes to school, anytime that they want to spend time with friends, anytime they want to do something fun, even spending time with family as well. Can you tell me what kind of feeling it is to be able to watch kiddos work through a lot of those problems and then come out saying, they're really happy. Kids are pretty resilient. That's got to be a pretty good feeling to know that kids are really getting through this along with their parents.
Kids are so much more resilient than we give them credit for, and they really do bounce back in ways that even adults struggle to do. And so I'm really glad you brought that up, and in some ways, maybe, we can take a cue from children and we can kind of also try to be as resilient and kind of go roll with the punches as they do. I like that kind of thing.
Absolutely. And Carrie, if people have any questions right now, is there a good spot where we can reach out to you?
Yeah, absolutely. So our website is tworoadswellnessclinic.com. We've got a lot of information on there. There are easy ways to contact us and get in for services. We have, skilled child therapists. And really, as an adult, if you're feeling like therapy is something that would help you right now, you're certainly not alone.
All right, Carrie, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate you, and we hope you have a good week.
Thanks, Mac.
Have a great Tuesday. Jack, is your forecast?